The holidays are filled with friends and family, but it can also be a very stressful time. We're here with Jill Hogenson from Health Source Saginaw to talk about managing that stress. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, so this is a big topic this time of year. So what are some of the stress management techniques people can use this time of year?
Yeah, so Christmas is supposed to be about joy and peace, but so often it's so much less than that with the stress of our obligations and demands of our schedules. We just end up tolerating the holiday and really just trying to get through it very often rather than enjoying it. The whole concept of kind of go big, go home takes over, and we're overbuying and overeating and over planning and all of that. And what happens with that is that stress not only continues through the holiday, but much past it with the consequences of all of that overdoing. And so there really are some things that we can do to take a little bit more control over the season instead of rather than it controlling us in many ways, and just bringing some holiday spirit instead of holiday stress. So it really needs to start with doing something different. We can't just overdo and overbuy and overeat every single year and expect that our stress is going to be less. So it really involves us making a conscious choice to make some changes. And so just really beginning by what you and your family want to, how you want to define your season, what you're really passionate about, what the reason for your season is, and then kind of lining up your activities and your plans along those lines. And then, of course, evaluating those things that are really necessary to do and what you have to do, and combining those with what you want to do, and making some choices along the way with what you need to cut out, and really looking at those priorities. And along with that, it's just really the balance of putting that all together and then making sure that there's some downtime for yourself, for your kids, so that they're not overstressed and running around and tired. And, when there's a balance and you're planning ahead, then what happens is you're able to be that better version of yourself. And so once you've looked at how you want to define and you've evaluated and made some changes in your schedule, you really just need to be in the moment of the season and really enjoy those people around you and not be worrying about that next thing on your schedule or what you should have done or what your aunt wanted you to do. It's really just important to be in the moment and just, celebrate and enjoy.
Exactly. So what are some of the patterns that you see creating the most problems for people coping with the holidays?
Right. So in our practice, in the counseling venue, we see really the extremes with the holidays, those that, like we've talked about, that are overdoing and looking for that perfect holiday, and really trying to please everyone around, and just this side of the overdoing, and then those that really aren't celebrating and really have nothing on their schedule, and it can be a very sad and very difficult time. So really those extremes are what we're noticing.
Do you have any tips for those that are spending the holidays alone?
Yeah, and that can be for a variety of reasons. There are certainly people that choose to spend the holidays alone and may go off and vacation and have a great time doing that. But for those that, by circumstance or, issues with divorce or maybe the death of a loved one, it can be a really, really difficult time to get through. And, the holidays, for whatever reason, tend to heighten all of our emotions. And so the sadness that we feel or the stress that we feel is just 10 times worse for whatever reason during this time. And so just really knowing that this is gonna be a hard time and letting yourself, giving yourself a little grace and letting yourself know that you're gonna feel those feelings. But of course, again, just making a plan and beginning by reaching out to some people. There may be people that don't know that you're going to be totally alone through the holidays, and letting them know and asking to participate. People these days are using social media to get on social media and sort of see if they can rally some other people who are alone as well together, because that's often part of the problem. When we're alone, we feel that we're the only ones alone, and that's just really, very often not the case. And so making some plans. Whatever you want to do. You can go to movies on Christmas Day, and or you can take a walk. You can volunteer a lot of places, but it's really important to have something in place so that you can kind of get through the day and realize that even though it's not an ideal situation, that there can be some moments of joy and some peace along the way.
All right, some great advice. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today.
You're welcome.
Really appreciate it, and hopefully we all get through the holidays happy and healthy. And if you want some more information, check out the hot links section on WNEM.com.